It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from around the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Cody Johnson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Well, good evening and welcome to NCW Life News for a Monday. I'm Steve Hare. Stories we're following for you tonight. A fire in Monitor destroys a mobile home. A Wenatchee man is arrested after an alleged hatchet attack at a party in Rock Island. Chelan County search and rescue crews are deployed for two separate incidents over the weekend, and primary elections are set after the candidate filing period ended on Friday. Also, I sat down with the organizers of the Missing Persons Safety Fair, and we'll have a feature story today on the grand opening of Lincoln Elementary School. Eric Granstrom joins us with your sports report, and then a little later, Dan Kuntz will also be here with our latest weather forecast. First, our top story for today. A Monitor mobile home was destroyed in a fire Friday evening. That blaze has been labeled as an arson blaze, according to Kashmir Fire Department official. Reported shortly after 9 p.m. Friday at the residence on Old Monitor Road. Family of 4 adults and 3 children were not there when it started. Chief Phil Mosier reported one of the 3 dogs inside the structure was killed. Mosier said the home sustained significant damage from heat and smoke. Meanwhile, the Red Cross was helping the family find emergency shelter. Also, Douglas County Sheriff's deputies arrested a 22-year-old Wenatchee man early Saturday morning after he reportedly attacked a Rock Island man with a hatchet. Miguel Rodriguez was arrested on suspicion of first-degree assault at a party on Indiana Avenue in Rock Island. Deputy Caleb Reynolds arrived and used a tourniquet on the 19-year-old Rock Island victim before being transported to Central Washington Hospital for treatment. Witnesses said the victim was in the driveway when the suspect lunged at him. Other party-goers separated the 2 men when they realized the attacker was hitting the victim's arm with a hatchet. Douglas County Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl said the suspect dropped the hatchet and fled the scene. Rodriguez was arrested a short time later. Elsewhere today, a rock climber and a mountain biker were injured in 2 separate accidents in the Leavenworth area over the weekend. Jason Reinfeld with the Chelan County Sheriff's Department says search and rescue crews were called out Saturday afternoon when a Redmond woman twisted her ankle while with a group near a popular rock climbing area known as Yellow Jacket Tower in the Icicle Canyon. Reinfeld said crews assisted 22-year-old Lauren Adkins of Redmond down the hill, where she was taken by a friend to Cascade Medical Center for treatment. Here you can see the rock feature that they were headed for. A second accident occurred Sunday in the Derby Canyon area near Peshastin. That's when a mountain biker from Anacortes broke her leg while riding on a mountain trail. Reinfeld says 42-year-old Jennifer Eichhorn was transported by ambulance to the Leavenworth Hospital for treatment. He says this is the time of year when search and rescue operations start ramping up. Visitors need to plan ahead before heading into our backcountry.
Just make sure that you have a plan where you're going, know where you're at in case an emergency occurs, so we can get to you with a quick response. Let some people know where you're going to be at, so if you're overdue, we know where to start looking for you. And we know with the season getting warmer that people are going to enjoy the outdoors. Just we'd like some good information to be able to assist you if you need something.
In other news this afternoon, the deadline for candidate filing for the 2017 elections closed on Friday. Cody Johnson has the list of some of the more contested positions in the upcoming election.
In the race for Chelan City Council position number 6, we've got Cameron Skip Morehouse, Andrew Baker, and Tim Hollingsworth. For Entiat City Council position number 1, we have 3 people who have filed, which include Norman Stenberg, Robert Anderson, and Richard Crump. For Wenatchee City Council position number 4, we have Keith Huffaker, Adam McDonald, and Casey Mulhall. Running for Lake Chelan Hospital District Commissioner number 1 is Mary Signorelli and Stan Morse. And candidates running for Lake Chelan Hospital District Commissioner 5 include Jerry Eisenhart, Phyllis Gleesman, and Kathy Jo Porter.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the Missing Persons Safety Fair, a unique program coming to the Pybus Market on Thursday. I'm Steve Hare. You're watching NCW Life News.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
Welcome back to NCW Live News. I'm Steve Hare. So where do you go for help when a friend or loved one turns up missing? Well, the mother of a monitored teenager whose body was found after he disappeared says she hopes the community can learn from her family's tragedy at Thursday's Missing Person Awareness Fair in Wenatchee. I'm Steve Hare with NCW Live News. I'd like to welcome into our studio right now, we have Linda Martinez and Venice Ceballos. We're here to talk about a big event that's coming up Thursday of this week at the Pybus Market. It's a Missing Children's Safety Fair. And our two young ladies here that are joining us on the air right now have a personal stake in this meeting. Of course, Linda's son Rudy was recently turned up missing, and then unfortunately it had a tragic ending.
Yes.
Linda, let's talk about the event that's coming up this week at the Pybus Market and how it came to be.
Well, we basically decided we wanted to bring awareness to the Wenatchee and surrounding areas so that when their children, loved ones go missing, they have resources they can reach out to.
So let's personalize this, because certainly your family suffered a terrible loss when Rudy's body was found. Can you walk us through really the horrors that you went through, I think, in order that makes this kind of an event necessary for parents out there? Can you tell us about what you went through, Linda, and of course, Venice?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speak on my mom's behalf because...
Sure, you bet. I can understand. It's very, very emotional.
But going through this, when we first reported my brother missing, we were told to wait the 72 hours. After that, yeah, which we all know a lot can happen in 72 hours. Then we called back a couple times, and he was, after the 72 hours, he was placed in the system as intent to locate rather than a missing person. So then I took a while again, and we went to the Sheriff's Department and met with Chief Helvey. And he was finally made a missing persons. They sent out a search and rescue team, and but it took a while, and they hadn't found him. And we tried to keep on giving different leads that we would get and so forth. And it just became such a horrible and tragic event that, if it wasn't for Facebook, the people on Facebook reached out to us, and they told us about NamUs, which is the National Missing and Unidentified Persons website. And then they also told us about the Washington State Patrol to register them. And so what we're trying to do is we are trying to bridge that gap. So if there is in fact the 72 hours, there's a lot more that the family can do, so they can register their loved one on the Washington State Patrol. They can go ahead and register on NamUs.
Would this have made a difference in the case of Rudy?
I'm not sure, but I just know that while we were there waiting, crying, trying to figure out what we can do, then it kept us busy trying to figure it out. And I think that would help other families as well, to actually feel that there's things that are actually being done.
That there are resources available.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So all of this information will be shared with the public at this meeting then coming up Thursday.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's talk about that for a minute. Who's going to be participating?
So during this time that Rudy went missing, and before we found him, we asked the mayor,
Mayor Frank Coons.
Mayor Frank Coons, if he can write out a proclamation, because Governor Inslee had done a proclamation also for the month of May, and that was identifying missing persons and missing children and unidentified people's month. And so that's the month of May, and so we asked Mayor Coons, and he did the same thing for us. And so he will be there. He will be one of our guest speakers. We will also have the Washington State Patrol who will be there. They will speak also. They will be doing free fingerprinting for children. And let's see here, it'll also be Heidi, I can't remember her last name, but she's from the Set Them Free movement. It's the human trafficking. She'll be there as a guest speaker as well. We have quite a bit of people that are going to be coming. We have the search and rescue team also. Officer Sessons, he's going to be there.
Sergeant Kent Sisson with
Yes,
the Chelan County
Sergeant.
Sheriff's Department and
Yes.
their search and rescue operations. Yeah.
Yes, he's going to be a guest speaker as well. And then several different agencies that are coming out to help also will be there.
Well, it's not been a very good year in terms of missing people here in the Wenatchee Valley. I think we still have one young lady who's still missing. They
Yes.
can't find her. And then we lost another young man also, and apparently in a drowning here in the Wenatchee River. And your son, Linda.
Yes.
So obviously this is timely information that people can receive at this meeting. It's a special event. It's called the Missing Children's Safety Fair at the Pybus Public Market. It's Thursday afternoon. It starts at 3:30. And of course, you'll be there?
Yes, we will.
Absolutely. And
Along with other family members from other missing persons that have gone missing.
well, Linda, if there's one message you want to get out to the community right now about this as an issue, what would that message be?
To please come and be able to know the resources that that are here in Wenatchee, and that those 72 hours are very important, and we're trying to make sure that everybody knows that and that they have resources to reach out to.
Well, we're so sorry for your loss and hoping that the community can learn from this tragedy going
Yes.
forward.
Yep, yes, that's what we're hoping for as well.
Linda Martinez, Bernice Ceballos, thank you for joining us on NCW Life News.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Hare. And thanks to Linda and Bernice for joining us earlier today. And again, that event takes place at 3:30 Thursday afternoon at Pybus Public Market. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, we have Eric Granstrom with your sports report and today's feature story on the grand reopening of Lincoln Elementary School.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a good Monday evening. The Wenatchee Panthers season came to an end Saturday morning in the first round of the State 4A baseball tournament at Yakima County Stadium. Wenatchee fell in its first round game to the Walla Walla Blue Devils 3-0. Cashmere is in the Final Four of the State 1A tournament after two wins Saturday at Recreation Park. The Bulldogs defeated Zilla in the first round game 4-2. And then a quarterfinal game against Caribou Trail League companion Okanagan. The Bulldogs from the north advanced with a 5-2 win over County Benton. Cashmere able to get the victory over Okanagan 6-2. They'll play Kingsway Christian Friday at 10 a.m. at Yakima County Stadium in the semifinals. Turning to softball, the district tournament for Wenatchee continued after a win on Friday over West Valley. That meant a rematch with Eastmont in the semifinals of the tournament, and it would go the way of the Wildcats. 7-2 the final, so Eastmont advanced to take on Moses Lake for the district title. What a game, 8-7 the final. Chiefs get the win. Both teams advance to the 4A state tournament in Spokane. Eastmont will face Puyallup in a first-round game at Dwight Merkel Stadium or Complex Friday at noon. Colville and Cascade, the glue crossover game Saturday between the Caribou Trail League and Northeast Day. It was the visitors coming out on top 9-2, so the Kodiak season is over. So too is Omak, losing on the road at Lakeside. In state soccer, the Wenatchee Panthers will not repeat as state champions. Wenatchee on the road Saturday to Pasco. The Bulldogs scored 3 quick goals, went on for the 5-0 victory. Pasco gets Central Valley in the Final Four Friday at Spark Stadium. The Cascade Kodiaks, however, are in the Final Four. The 1A state tournament, Cascade advanced with a 3-2 win over Connell Saturday on the road. They'll face Walook in Friday semifinal at Sunset Chevrolet Stadium in Sumner. That starts at 2 o'clock. Turning our attention to lacrosse. It was the state quarterfinals of the boys 4A state tournament. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder hosting Issaquah. I had the call here on the NCW Life channel alongside Rod Higley. Nathan McCarthy in tight with a shot and a goal, and Wenatchee Valley strikes first. Again, it's Huta with it. Wants to work a one-man game. Nice move and a shot and a goal. And good job on the defense again by Wenatchee Valley. Almost stole out in front. Look out. It was in tight.
Tilly came up with an interception there.
Tilly in front. On the feed to Ben Higley and the goal for Wenatchee Valley. Connor looking. inside, looking in front. Here comes Loomis with a shot. It's deflected. It's loose out front on the goal crease, and it's scooped in.
There you go.
The Eagles would break open a back-and-forth contest in the second to lead at 7-4 at halftime. The Thunder would come out storming back in the third quarter on goals by Connor Tilley, Kyle Schmaltz, and Nathan McCauley to draw within 2 to start the fourth. Lob pass across over to McCarthy. He'll shoot and score.
That's the one they needed.
Look out, Dotola. He feeds in front for the wide open shot. Roush was right there. They lost the eyeball on him, and he gets the goal for Issaquah with 14 with 13. And unfortunately, it looks like the Wenatchee Valley Thunder season, a very successful one, will come here to an end in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, time's running out on.
So Issaquah advances with the 10-8 win. Wenatchee Valley coach Brandon Parker certainly proud of his team.
It was a great game. They're a fantastic team. They've always been one of the best teams in the state of Washington. And we hung with them. 1-2 goal game, pretty much majority of that, up and down, left and right. And we were hanging, and we had an opportunity at the end to tie it, a couple opportunities. And they just ended up, it was their turn this game.
Senior Cole Loomis said the moment was big for he and his team.
Yeah, I think the weight was definitely felt in the game during practice this week. All the boys are really excited to come out and play today. I don't blame any of them. We had a great season, and we played real tough today. And major shout out to the Issaquah Eagles. They did a great job playing us tough. And yeah, it was a little heated sometimes on the sidelines, but I think we did a good job handling it.
Congratulations to the Thunder on a great season. The Rams losing over the weekend. The Mariners continue to struggle. They're on the road at Washington tomorrow. With NCW Life Channel Sports, I'm Eric Grandstrom. Steve, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Well, Wenatchee School District's Lincoln Elementary School just celebrated its grand reopening. For the past year, the elementary school has been under remodeling, requiring students and faculty to do their schooling around the construction work. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck attended the grand reopening, and he filed this report.
Friday, May 19th was a big day for Wenatchee School District, especially for Lincoln Elementary. The elementary school finished their big remodeling project and gave the public a chance to look inside what felt like a brand new school.
For me as a principal, I think being able to provide the best learning facility I can for our kids, all kids deserve it, and especially those kids coming from poverty backgrounds or that have stressors. So we're providing a perfect space for them to feel safe, and it's nice. It looks great, and so I think having ample room. We have this brand new gym here. We didn't have a full-size gym before, and so that's a big expansion for us. And then the classrooms are all large classrooms, so plenty of room for them to do what they need to do. Latest technology in them. We have enough bandwidth for every kid to have their own device, and so we're hoping in the future that might be a possibility. And then I think having other rooms or locations or spaces for our special programs like High Cap, and for art and for music, and so to actually have a space that they can go and do those other specialty areas that a lot of buildings don't have. They're on the stage, and we have our overload music on the stage as well, but it's a space that's dedicated for that, and we're not looking for other spaces. We have lots of room for our reading intervention specialists. So I think just having the space that we need to really help all kids be the best that they can be. And I felt humbled, and I know that they did too, to know that we have these rooms that are large, that has technology, and just is decorated in a way that supports learning. Even things like the storage that teachers get giddy about, because it's ample storage, and it really, the way that it's set up in the classrooms, it's behind the whiteboards, and there's lots and lots of storage. So just those types of things, but just that feeling sort of put a pep in all of our steps, and the teachers I think would say that too. Again, providing the best for our kids, because that's what helps us. So it provides that readiness to learn that a building that's older might not be able to. The old building was great, and we had it for a long time, but this is just different for us.
I'm Jay Seebeck, NCW Life News.
Lincoln Elementary and Washington Elementary School underwent some major upgrades this year. Coming up, just a moment with a recap of today's top stories, also your weather forecast for North Central Washington as NCW Life News for a Monday continues.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
Welcome back to the program. A Monitor mobile home was destroyed in a fire Friday evening. The blaze has been labeled as an arson fire, according to Kashmir Fire Department officials. Reported shortly after 9 p.m. Friday at the residence on Old Monitor Road. A family of 4 adults and 3 children were not at home when it started. Chief Phil Mosier reported one of the 3 dogs inside the structure was killed. He says the home sustained significant damage from heat and smoke. Meanwhile, the Red Cross was helping the family find emergency shelter. Also, Douglas County Sheriff's deputies arrested a 22-year-old Wenatchee man early Saturday morning after he reportedly attacked a Rock Island man with a hatchet. Miguel Rodriguez was arrested on suspicion of first-degree assault at a party on Indiana Avenue in Rock Island. Deputy Caleb Reynolds arrived and used a tourniquet on the 19-year-old Rock Island victim before being transported to Central Washington Hospital. Witnesses said the victim was in the driveway when the suspect lunged at him. Other partygoers separated the two when they realized the attacker was hitting the victim's arm with a hatchet. Douglas County Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl said the suspect dropped the weapon and then fled. Rodriguez was arrested a short time later. Also over the weekend, a rock climber and a mountain biker were injured in 2 separate accidents in the Leavenworth area over the weekend. Jason Reinfeld with the Chelan County Sheriff's Department said search and rescue crews were called out Saturday afternoon when a Redmond woman twisted her ankle while with a group near the popular rock climbing area known as Yellow Jacket Tower in the Icicle Canyon. Reinfeld said crews assisted 22-year-old Lauren Adkins of Redmond down the hill where she was taken by a friend to Cascade Medical Center for treatment. A second accident occurred Sunday in the Derby Canyon area near Peshastin when a mountain biker from Anacortes broke her leg while riding on a mountain trail. Reinfeld says 42-year-old Jennifer Eichhorn was transported by ambulance to the Leavenworth Hospital for treatment. He said this is the time of the year when search and rescue operations start ramping up, and you visitors need to plan ahead before heading into the backcountry.
Just make sure that you have a plan where you're going, know where you're at in case an emergency occurs, so we can get to you with a quick response. Let some people know where you're going to be at, so if you're overdue, we know where to start looking for you. And we know with the season getting warmer that people are going to enjoy the outdoors. Just we'd like some good information to be able to assist you if you need something.
Well, the weather conditions are improving to the point you're going to see a lot more people heading to the woods this week. Dan Kuntz joins us now with a look at our weather forecast.
Wenatchee Valley and all of north central Washington are under the influence of a very strong ridge of high pressure that's centered basically over central Oregon. The good news is sunny and dry and warm temperatures will continue through Tuesday. The bad news is that it's beginning to slide out of the area already, and that's going to allow a strong cold front to bring breezy conditions and cooler temperatures by Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. But another beautiful day expected tomorrow. For tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of about 61. Tuesday, sunshine and a high of about 88 or 89 degrees. The last time we hit 89 degrees was August of last year. It's been a while, but that's what we're looking at on Tuesday. Now, Tuesday night, as I mentioned before, that strong cold front will begin to buffer into the area. Nothing really exciting Tuesday night. Overnight low of about 51, but the wind will begin to picking up a little bit. Wind out of the west. 21 to 25 miles an hour on Tuesday night. And Wednesday, lots of sunshine, but breezy conditions. And a lot cooler, as you see there. High of only 68 on Wednesday. And the wind, a northwest wind, about 18 to 21 miles an hour. That means partly cloudy skies Wednesday night, overnight low of about 50 degrees. Thursday, maybe a thunderstorm, just the slightest chance of that. Outside of that, partly sunny, high of 73, no real wind on Thursday. Friday, partly sunny and 77. And for the Memorial Day weekend, right now anyway, looks pretty good. Sunshine with highs in the lower 80s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And that's your forecast on the NCW Life Channel.
Thanks, Dano. That's going to do it for our program today. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, visit us on Facebook or at our website at ncwlife.com. Always remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call on our hotline at 888-NCWL. I'm Steve Hare. Thanks for watching.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life Channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life Channel on Twitter.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life Community Calendar at ncwlife.com.